Hey YouTube, it's Grawley. Just wanted to do an information video for those out there who, like me, may have type 2 diabetes mellitus. One of the hardest things to get to do is to be able to monitor your own glucose levels, and also if you end up having to inject insulin, to get used to injecting it. So I just wanted to do a video basically to show how a glucose monitor works, and also another video on how an injection pen, how you use an injection pen. So I'll start this video. This is video 1. This is an injection kit, and what we have in here is the glucose monitor, a pen for a needle to create a drop of blood, and also on this side, in this little pocket, are the monitor strips where the blood goes and actually gives a reading. So I'm just going to show you how this actually works. Now, firstly, let's see if I just go to a new injection needle. This is what the needles look like to begin with. Now, this is a brand new one, and I'll show you how to put it into the injector mechanism. So on the top here is a cap, so you would pull the cap off. In here, see, that's a live needle. Now I'm going to change it, but for the first use you would just have one of these. You would just put it straight in and snap this end piece off here. But when you're changing, what you would do, in that cap, you put the needle into the cap and press it on. Now to release it, you press the button on the top and it'll spring out. Now if I pull that out, it's just a push fit. That now, the needle is protected inside that cap. I will turn it round so you can see, and I will just push fit the other end in. And so that click was just the spring engaging. So I'll release it again. Now, to take the cap off, all you do is twist, just to release the plastic, and pull. That can then be disposed of in the bin. That is safe, because the needle that's, sorry, just dropped it. The needle that's on the end of this bar is protected by this end cap, so that can go in the rubbish. That can be safely disposed of. Now, you can't walk around with an exposed needle. I don't know if you can see the very fine needle on the end. You need to put the cap back on. Now, with the cap, notice on that is a straight side and that is slightly rounded, and that matches with the contours of the body of the pen. Now, at the top end here is a dial, and that controls the depth that the needle will come out of that hole in the end. So the higher the number, the more the needle will be exposed. Say on mine, I have set mine set on 2. And say if your spring is weaker, you may need it higher. If you have thicker skin, you may need it higher to be able to, for the needle to penetrate your skin. So that's that ready. To prime, this at the end is a spring-loaded mechanism. You pull. Oops, I'm going to take a finger off the button. You pull until it clicks, and then press it. You heard the click. That's the spring releasing. The needle pops out at the end. When you've got it on your finger, pierces your skin, and you get a drop of blood. Now, I'm not going to do that just yet because I need to get the machine ready. So normally, injection strips, you have to just tear one strip off the pack of 5. So you get them in normally in packs of 50. And if you're a diabetic patient, you probably find that you prescribe these from your GP. However, you can purchase them privately. So I've seen them being sold on eBay, and so the actual strips themselves match the type of the machine that they go into. Now, my particular machine is called Optimum Exceed, and these are the strips that match my machine. So if you are buying privately rather than being prescribed by your GP, you'll have to check that your strips match your machine. Now, to get out of the strip, it's important not to touch the end where you're going to put the drop of blood and it's contaminated with anything that may be on your fingers. So there's a little notch there, which if you hold the end and tear, it exposes the end of the tab that goes into the machine. Now, in the machine itself, in the bottom, there's the machine, in the bottom is the socket where the strip just pushes into, and then you pull the cover off. Now that's the, without touching it, that's the bit on the end where the blood's going to go, and you can tell because, I don't know if you can see it here, it's showing put the drop of blood on the end of the stick, which is what we're going to do now. So I'll leave that there so you can hopefully see what I'm doing. I get my pen, charge it so it clicks, put it on the end of my finger and press the button. It always comes as a shock that those that you're not squeamish, leaves a small drop of blood which you just then touch to the end. Now that beep means that the machine is actually counting down and it's going to give a reading. You would then read that off the screen and note that in your diary or however you monitor it. The machine would actually keep a reading normally for the last 7 days, the last 14 days, the last 30 days, so you can go back and review your readings. So that's how you would use a blood glucose testing machine. Pull the strip out. Normally what I would do is blood on the end, which is obviously a biohazard, put it back into the packet, and then that again, once it's sealed up, just fold it back over. That can safely go into the normal waste. So that's that done and sorted, and readings done for another. Sometimes you might only have to test maybe once a day, unless if your glucose levels are under excuse me, I've got hiccups, are under control, and obviously well managed. And so if you're new to monitoring your glucose levels, it may be that you have to do that more frequently or several times a day, just to get readings, from breakfast time, from lunch, dinner, tea, evening, even in the middle of the night if you're up in the late night. So I'll leave this video at this point, just as to how to use a glucose testing machine. Hopefully that's useful to anybody who is new to testing the glucose levels, who's newly diagnosed as having type 2 diabetes. It does get easier with time. Practice makes perfect after all, and hopefully you will go on to have success of being able to monitor your own sugar levels successfully. And so the pen injection, I'll come back with another video to show you how to do that. Thank you. From Growley's Lair.